Hi there. This is a video walkthrough of a pre-class or pre-workshop activity using Mural, an online whiteboarding tool. In this video, you'll see how to access Mural, how to create a virtual sticky note, write on it, change its appearance, and move that note to a virtual table, thereby joining a team. Along the way, I'll share with you some other useful tips like how to move around in a whiteboard and how to zoom in and zoom out. Let's get started. So, you'll access Mural using a link that's emailed to you, or you can type in the URL yourself. If you've been given an email link, it may be designed to automatically switch you to the Microsoft Edge browser. If so, you can click Accept or Allow to the security pop-up that you will see. You will need to use a modern browser like Edge or Google Chrome or Safari for Mac. You will not be able to use Internet Explorer. That won't work. Now, I'm going to go ahead and access my Mural and then show you how to do that, and then I'll give you a chance to get into your Mural, and then we'll continue with the activity. So I'm here on my Mac, and I'm going to be using a Safari browser because that's the native browser I have here. And when you go into Mural, it may take several seconds for the Mural to load, depending on the speed of the internet connection you have, as well as the size of the Mural board. Once you get the page fully loaded, you'll see a notification that looks a bit like this, asking you whether you want to enter as a visitor or log in. Unless you've been told otherwise, you should enter as a visitor. So when you do that, you will enter as a visiting animal because people like animals. In this case, I am a visiting rabbit. That's how I will show up to other people in the session. So now I'm into my Mural. It's got some pop-up tips here. I'm going to go ahead and pause here for a moment and let you get into your Mural, and then we can continue. So go ahead and pause the video and come back when you're in. Okay, I'm going to assume that you're in your Mural now. So I'm next going to show you how to create a sticky note with your name on it and move that to a table. First, let's find the table. Now, the activities in your workshop or class will be listed in the outline here on the right side of your browser. If you don't see the outline, or if it disappears at any stage, you can turn it back on using this little button in the toolbar at the top right. It's the third button from the right, and it has 3 dots and 3 lines. And since you probably can't see it, I've drawn a picture of it. It looks about like that. Clicking on that button will toggle the outline off and on. So you can always get it back just by clicking on that button again. Each activity in this outline, when you click on it, it will move you and zoom you in to the size of that particular activity. And in this case, the activity I'm going to show you is activity number 2 called Join a Table. So I'm going to click on that in the outline, and you'll see that it moves the Mural board to the activity we're going to do. Now, let's talk about creating a Post-it note. Well, the first thing you'll notice here is that we're zoomed out to the whole activity, but it's kind of hard to read the instructions that are up at top. So first I want to show you how to move around in the Mural. I mentioned the outline. That's one way to move, but there are a couple of other tips that are helpful as well. So the first one I want you to remember is Z. Z is for zoom. When you hold down the Z key, it will change your cursor from being a standard cursor into a magnifying glass. It'll be a magnifying glass with a plus in it, and when you click on that, it will zoom you in to the Mural. If you're in too far and you want to zoom back out, you hold down Z, but you also hold down the Alt key, so it's Alt Z. That will change you to a magnifying glass with a minus in the middle, and when you click on that, it will zoom in where your cursor is. So if you want to zoom in or out to the particular place, you zoom in or out based on where you're clicking. Now, let's zoom back in here. Oh, notice in the bottom right here, there's also a little pop-up that's saying, hey, don't forget me. There is a preview window down in the bottom right, and just above it, it has a minus and a plus, which will let you zoom in, a little slider you can drag, etc. So the best ways to zoom in and out in the Mural board is either the Z key, Z or Alt Z, or you can use this little preview area down at the bottom. The other thing that you might find is that you might get zoomed into a good size, but you're not in the right place. So this is the other key, in addition to Z, is the space bar. When you hold down the space bar, it will change your cursor from a standard cursor into a hand, an open hand. And with that open hand, you can grab the whiteboard and move it where you want it to be. So I'm going to just drag this down, click to drag, and now I can see my instructions more clearly. And the instructions tell me to create a Post-it note. So now let's talk about creating objects like sticky notes. So how do you create sticky notes in Mural? This is the easiest thing you're going to do, because all you have to do to create a sticky note in Mural is double click. When you double click, it will create a sticky note. The size and characteristics will default to the last one you've used. If you haven't used one yet, the first one is a small yellow sticky. And there's a cursor in it, and so you can just start typing. And I've typed in Jeff, and you can't see it because it's actually really small. So if you want to make the text bigger, there is an A+ and an A-. The A+ will make the text bigger, up to the size of the Post-it note. The A- makes it smaller. You can also grab the corner of an object like a Post-it note, and if you pull on it, it will make it and everything inside it proportionally bigger. So that's a way to resize. You can also change things like the color and style, the font here, etc., to be whatever you would like it to be. So you can make the Post-it the way you like. So let's say you've got your Post-it created. Now you need to move that Post-it to the table. So let's talk about moving sticky notes or other objects. So if we go back to our Mural board here, by the way, if I have this selected, I need to kind of click out of it to deselect it so I can sort of grab it again for resizing or moving. So I've got this sticky note. I don't have a cursor in it to type. I can move it just by grabbing it, so I can move it to other places. Now, if I want to go off the screen, I could try to hold it and let the thing scroll, but that's a bit awkward. I could hold down the Alt-Z to zoom out, but if I've got text in it like that, it undoes it. Control-Z will undo. If you ever make a mistake, just Control-Z to undo. But the easiest thing to do, if you don't want to risk typing like that, is just to remember that you have an outline. If you click on the outline here, you click on the item for the activity, it will zoom you back out to see the whole thing. So if you want to move things around, that's often a good quick way to zoom out and be able to see things. And so now I can take the Post-it that says Jeff, and I can move it to, let's go to Paris. So I'm now placed in Paris. And that's how you access Mural, create a Post-it note or sticky note, put your name on it, and move it to a table. Once you've done that, you've completed the activity for the pre-work for this session. If you want to learn any more about Mural, up next to that outline icon, there's a question mark and a circle. If you click on that, it'll give you all kinds of keyboard shortcuts and help videos, etc., that you're welcome to have a look at. But otherwise, that's it. You're done. Have a great session, and good luck. Thanks.